Welcome back into the Sports Source. When you make a big purchase, you want to know that service is always going to be provided with that purchase. And with Madisonville Marine, they offer warranties on both new and used boats. People have been going back to them for 40 years. You don't stay in business for 40 years unless you are taking care of your customers and getting a lot of repeat business. Find out why so many people go to Madisonville Marine and stick with Madisonville Marine. Check them out this week. Okay, got our panel of all VFL, Sterling, Shazan, Will, Daniel. Here's what I want to know. Josh Dobbs, 55 to 60% passer. We know that. But he needs some help out there. I don't think it's all on Dobbs. No. Offensive line didn't pass protect for him. If you'd put Dormady in there, I think he's looking out of his ear hole like Justin Worley was a few years ago. The receivers, when's the last time one of these guys made a play in terms of 10-yard pass, make a man miss, go 50 yards? How about never? You never see it. And even Preston Williams, 2 hands in the end zone, you drop it. So there's a lot of blame to go around. So my question then is, quarterback.
Okay, give it to me.
How do you fix the passing game at Tennessee? Because it was an issue last year.
It was an issue last year.
But looked like an issue the other night.
But as an issue, it still was a highlight of a record-breaking offense as an issue. I'm going to caveat that.
Yeah,
okay. Now, I would like to see more production out of the pass game. I'm quite sure Coach DeBoer and I know Nick would like to see more production out of the pass game. It's all about practicing continuity. It's all about practicing continuity, knowing where that guy's going to be. That 3rd and 7 catch by Josh Malone, that curl route, perfect pass. 3 people around him, he caught it. We needed that first down. We got it. So those are that's type potential that's there in our passing game. I look forward to seeing it.
It is potential, but how do you get it to? I mean, they had a month to practice, and they missed a lot now. I'm not making stuff up here. That's a fact.
I agree with you, but every game you got to get better. We're getting better off wins. I'm going to leave it at that.
The receivers are too big and too slow, and they can't get off the block. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Hurd is a slot or tight end. Hurd is not a running back. And
he's Eddie George, man.
He's not look how long Eddie George lasted in the league. He's not a running back. I mean, you got to be able to take a step and a half. You got to be
all right, passing game. Back to passing game. How do you fix passing game?
One thing is make Kamara one of your go-to targets out as your passing game. He's a guy that can make somebody miss and can take a 5-yard out and turn it into 50 yards. What I don't understand is why they don't start off the game with Hurd and Kamara in the backfield, and when they want to pass it, you motion him out, and you see how the defense adjusts. Do they walk a safety down to cover him? Now you know they can't do a couple of things in their coverages. You give Dobbs easier reads. Do they walk a linebacker down line? Guess what? Dobbs, that's the guy you throw to. Number 1 read. Kamara on a linebacker. I don't understand why they can't use one of their better athletes. They only get him 7 to 9 touches, and 2 in the first half.
2 in the first half, 7 in the second half.
You're not showing anything if you put an athlete out there and say, guys, you're going to have to cover this guy one-on-one. That's not a play like, secret. I mean, so
Virginia Tech probably had tape of Kamara from last year, maybe.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you can't take 2 weapons like that and say this gives us a better chance to win.
Did you watch the Clemson-Auburn game? What did Clemson do anytime they needed to play? Threw the ball to number 7. I think number 7 ended up with 195 yards receiving or something. Anytime Auburn tried to make momentum, they threw in the ball. We got to do the same thing with Kamara. And again, you got to find a way to protect Dobbs so he doesn't have to run. So whether it's keeping Hurd in there, bringing in another offensive lineman to put him back there, I don't care what you do. Just give him a second to throw.
I love hearing defensive guys talk about offense. I love it. I mean, give
us an in-depth answer, man.
I'm give you some love right now. In theory, that sounds right. Applying all that stuff they just said takes a little more thinking, a little more time, and a little more continuity for it.
Just Kamara.
No, I'm not saying that. That's just one variation of how to use that one weapon. This guy made a statement. Jalen Hurd.
Okay, let's get back to passing stuff. Let's get back to passing.
They're defensive players.
Let me ask you.
And as a defensive player that had to cover guys in the NFL, the number 1 situation,
that
the toughest person to cover, if you get a running back on a linebacker,
it's
a mismatch. Get a running back on a linebacker.
It's a mismatch.
Let me ask you this one too, and it steps off a little bit what you're talking about. At some point, and by the way, some VFL the other day sent me a text, speaking of Dobbs behind that offensive line, he said if Peyton Manning had been behind that offensive line, he would have needed neck surgery in college. Now, I'm not going to say who that was, but at some point you can't leave Dobbs standing back there going through 5 reads. That's not his game. So playing a little off that, do you have to field with him at times? Roll him out more often. Cut the field in half, limit his reads. Guys deep, throw it. Guys medium, throw it. They're both covered, run the thing. I mean, simplify it. Is that a problem? To simplify?
No, I think the offense is first of all, let me say this. The offense they're running right now is a lot similar to any offense I ever ran in my life playing football. But that was in the 1900s. So let's bring it back to 2016. Okay. What's going on right now, some guys going to have to play better inside the offense to make the passing game more productive, period. Yeah. I'm talking about receivers, quarterbacks, linemen, running backs. And I know they will. What happened Saturday, we got the win. We got it there with a win. Now let's see how the team progresses.
Mr. Positive. All right. That was good. You held your own all by your lonesome in that segment. You did a good job. All right.
Defensive guys.
When we come back, we got 5 quick slants coming on Dormady, first down production, which is horrible. The emergency playbook they break out from time to time. Come on back on the Sports Source.